cannons ring, yes, them cannons ring.
Going back to 2008, Cleveland's won just 4 games in the past 26 against Baltimore. Can the Browns win on the road at M&T Bank Stadium? Find out next on Sunday Night Primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, this is a passing league. I don't think you would argue that thought. But our ball game here features a couple of teams with strong offensive lines that really like to work the ground game.
And you and I have both heard from different people in the league who's saying that it's becoming a little bit of a lost art in the NFL, the ability to run the football. And we've heard from defensive coordinators who tell us that they play the pass first. That's not something you normally hear. But these two offenses, they're true to who they are. Both ranked in the top 5 in terms of rushing yardage. I think they're both going to use those massive offensive lines to try and wear down these defenses.
Is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. And for the first time, here comes the Cleveland Browns offense, quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield, fourth-year man from Oklahoma.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
A nice burst there as he'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now this defense for the Ravens, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one. Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
They go play action with Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at the Browns' 44. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. On 1st down, Murray. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. So now we have Jackson slow to get back on his feet. Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Murray. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. A 10-play drive that time, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
A nice throw there by Mayfield, a guy who really reemerged as the season and later the playoffs went on last year. What are defenses try to do against him?
Well, the first thing defenses want to do is use his emotion against him because he's such a passionate player that sometimes he comes up really hyped up and the ball might sail a little bit early. But as the game settles in, the next part is make sure you chip away at his timing, put the pressure on him so maybe his feet don't get quite set and then he's not able to be as accurate as he normally is.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Mayfield. Got a man and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! Jarvis Landry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Parkey with the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the pistol, they run it with Murray. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On third down, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
7-7, our score after one. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. The Browns drive about to get started. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. The Browns on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
That's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and they're going to have a third down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
The Browns on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Mayfield. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They go play action. Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Mayfield with it once more. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Play fake. Mayfield. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's the sackmaster, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And the Ravens are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Play action. Now Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Troy Hill picks it. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. A run for Nick Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A first down throw for Mayfield. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. From the red zone now, Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Third and short yardage, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Parkey is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And Andrews lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. After the sack on 1st down, Mayfield is going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They do get 12, but they'll be moving short. And that leads to a 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot they snapped it from, so field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air, maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. On to a look at the next-gen stats for the Browns in that first half. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if things continue the way they've been going. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. On the return is Duvernay. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They go play action now. Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. You think back to last week, they dropped that game to the Detroit Lions. Now they're trying to make amends here as they've got the football and the lead. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Now Chubb running right. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Jamie Gillen down. They'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Jackson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Murray. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Still 15 yards to go, second down. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt.
Able to slither by, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. On third down, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Tyus Bowser, his second sack of the night. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing just outside his own goal line. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Murray.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the 1st. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, Brown, a nice catch. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. Jackson going to look to run with it. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 7 yards to pick up there. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Mayfield's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A give. This is Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 65 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the carry, it's Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deshaun Elliott. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Tie game, 4th quarter. You're already in the red zone, well in field goal range. You can't throw a pick there.
And you know I want to give all the credit to the defenders, right? I mean, they made a play on the ball. But bottom line, you set up the situation perfectly. You've already got the field goal in the bag. You've got to make sure you take care of the football in that situation.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. Being chased out left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Again, Jackson will keep it. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cleveland offense making their way out. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb running right through him. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They run. Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And shedding a man at the 40. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield now from the 50. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Here we go.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. from the gun, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper.
7 yards the pickup there.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
2nd down and 3.
Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. A beautiful fake. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Stop short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Andy Janovich, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Now Parkey for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson.
He's going to drop this one down for Murray.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Here's Jackson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Browns defense stands tall. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Hey, we gonna do what we do.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They run it again with Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And they'll indeed take a knee. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. One last shot for Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Cleveland, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz.